Thank you for taking time to meet with me today to talk about Amy and how she's doing this year in preschool. Before I get started on what we see in Amy each day while she's here, can you tell me what Amy seems to think about preschool?
She seems happy to be coming. She talks to all the teachers as she comes into the building, and she's happy to go upstairs. She runs right to the other kids when she goes into the room and starts talking to them, sometimes making plans for what they want to play with.
What does she share with you about preschool?
She tells us who she plays with, if they went outside or if they had to go to the gym. She'll share what she had for breakfast and lunch and if she liked it or not. She also likes to tell us what books they read or songs she sang. She especially likes to tell us if someone did something they weren't supposed to.
That certainly is the age, isn't it? I'm glad she seems to be enjoying herself here. I know she plays with a couple of girls in particular in the room when I'm in there, so she seems to be making friends, which is actually one of the areas we observe for development in our preschool rooms. So when we do observations, we use a tool called the TS goals, and it breaks down developmental areas that we call domains, which would be social emotional, physical, language, cognitive, literacy, and math. When we're watching Amy, we make notes and look at the TS goal to see where she currently is and where she will be going to next in development. So as you can see here on this sheet, her age group color is green, and I can see if she is meeting below, at, or above age level. Then as we are planning activities, we will start to work on building these skills she needs to go to the next level by planning things that will build on those skills she already has and get her to that next level. So in social emotional development, we not only want to see that she can make friends or be able to join into a group setting, we want her to be able to meet her own needs accordingly. She can climb up the step stool to turn on the water and get soap to wash her hands. She can get her outdoor gear on to go outside and play. And then her next step is going to be able to zip her coat up unassisted. In physical, she's able to move with purpose to and from areas at age level. She can jump with both feet off the ground. She can move her around tables, chairs, and people. The next step for Amy will be to learn to maneuver an obstacle course, pedal bikes with ease, and try to gallop. In the area of language, Amy is using complete sentences. Many are complex. She's a bit above age level in her sentence usage. She can also carry on conversations with friends and teachers at age level. She speaks in complete sentences, typically 4 to 6 words. She can carry on a conversation with 4 back and forth instances. And she's fairly consistent with taking turns, but there are times that she will have to be reminded that someone else is speaking. So the next step for Amy will be using more complex sentence structures with nouns, verbs, and proper nouns. And she will also begin to take turns as conversation flows. Is all this making sense so far, or do you have any questions?
No, so far we're with you. So at this point, everything is on level with other kids her age, which is what we hope for.
Yes, at this point, I don't see her as below any development. She's still young. She won't be 4 till the end of May, but she seems to be on target even if some areas are at the bottom of her age. So with the next area, I have cognitive. With this, Amy shows inventiveness in her thinking. She is again at age level. She used a rocking chair, a wooden cradle, a chair, and a metal bowl to create a pretend drum set. She used a plastic spoon and knife from the kitchen area to make her drumsticks. The next step for her would be to change plans if better ideas or thoughts are offered to her, such as using tape to fix her books instead of glue. In the literacy domain, Amy is able to recognize some of the letters in her name at age level and also able to appreciate books at age level. She will tell us some of the letters in her name and how many there are also. She tells us if a word starts with the same letter as her name. When she reads, she holds her books in the correct position, she turns pages one at a time, and she's respectful of not ripping pages. So next we will see her starting to ask questions about what is happening in books or telling stories based on what she sees on each page. She'll also attempt writing letters in her names. As she sees more matching letters in print, she will start to recreate them, making lines or curves instead of just circles or scribbles. In the area of math, Amy is able to identify most of the basic shapes, like a circle, star, square, triangle, at age level. She wanted to draw a face, but she didn't think she could. So we talked our way through it. You need a big circle for the head, which she did, 2 small circles for eyes. She did that as well. and a small circle for the nose. She did that again, and then a line for the mouth, which she also did. So the next step for her will be able to identify more shapes as well as describe 2 to 3 dimensional shapes. So after the things I've observed with Amy, some things that we expect to come next in her development, what are some goals that you have for Amy in her development?
I'd like to see her start to write. Right now she will only color. If we ask her to write letters in her name, she says she can't and she won't try, even though she does know some of the letters in her name, like you said. I think I would like to see her be able to take turns in speaking as well. She has a habit of interrupting all of us at home as ideas jump into her head. I know that has some to do with age, but then she gets mad when someone interrupts her.
Those are all things that we can work on here as we plan on daily activities. I can give you some ideas to go along with those goals later after we finish here and I have a chance to look for ideas that would be simple enough to implement in a daily routine at home. I have some goals here that we would like to meet with Amy in more of a group setting in some areas, but still individual in where she is. The goal we have here can also be included in areas at home so we can work together to help her reach those goals. So one of our goals for social emotional is to work with others in a group setting. To build on this skill, we will work on allowing others in the room to choose what they want to do without her getting upset about it. Others will be able to have opinions on where they want toys to go when they put them away and what toys are being offered at choice time. To achieve this goal, we will play games that allow for turn taking, go fish, connect four, so that she has to wait for others to finish a step or make a choice before or after her. We'll also create popsicle sticks with names on them for each child. When it's choice time for centers, the teacher will draw names and that child gets to choose the activity. When choice time is over, those sticks are removed, so the next choice time will not have repeated names. Some activities that you could do at home with this goal is you make the decision of what to play, games that would encourage turn taking, again, goldfish, go fish, old maid, chutes and ladders. For a physical goal that we have for her would be to work on her 3-finger grip. To build the strength in her fingers, to get to that 3-point grip, we'll do activities to strengthen her hands. Those will include using tweezers to pick up cotton balls to put into a bowl or a bottle, scrap paper in the sensory table to use scissors to cut up, and then offer paper and writing utensils around the room in different areas so that she has more writing opportunities. Activities to do at home would be, if you're playing kitchen, maybe change it up so she can play restaurant and take family orders, bead threading, and using tweezers to pick up cotton balls or pom-poms. For language, we have a goal of taking turns in speaking with others. We'll work on developing nonverbal reminders to wait turns when someone else is speaking. It may be holding up a finger to wait, a finger to the lips, or a hand on her arm so she can see that we are listening to whomever is speaking. We will then read books to discuss interrupting and how it makes us feel when someone isn't waiting for us to finish a story or when asking a question. Some things that you could do at home. We have some books that you could borrow, The Interrupting Chicken or Decibella in Her 6-Inch Voice. Any book that might discuss taking turns when others are speaking. And then when others are speaking at home and she tries to jump in, also give a nonverbal cue to wait her turn, like the ideas that we had talked about above. For cognitive, we are going to work on making connections. To work on that goal, we are going to create visual schedules with pictures and words so she can see what order the day flows in, what comes first, what's next, and what will come after that. Then she will be able to learn, eventually without visuals, how the days run and make transitions smoother throughout the day. Things that could be done at home would be a schedule with pictures on a dry erase board for nighttime and morning activities on school days and weekends. School has some pre-made pictures such as brush hair, teeth, bed, get dressed, nap, eat breakfast, lunch or dinner, if you would like to use those as well. And discuss steps for hand washing, getting dressed, and making the connections of how things will flow. For literacy, working on writing letters and recognizing letters, we will work with Play-Doh to shape dough into letter shapes. We will use the Play-Doh and laminated cards with printed letters to use as a guide. We'll start with letters in her name, and as she's able to do that with guidance, we'll start adding other letters, and again, add more writing opportunities for letter writing and recognition. The things to do at home, you could While reading, have her point out letters that she knows, magnetic letters on the refrigerator to help with recognition, and also do the Play-Doh with or without cards. We can provide a set to use at home. For math, we'll work on being able to see a number and recognize it and its value. We'll work on her as touching each item to gain the item and value of counting. She'll be encouraged to count as she helps pass out items to classmates or give a specific number of something to a teacher. Our hope is, as she builds confidence in her counting and giving numerical value to things, that she will begin to see a set of something and know how many she's looking at, like 4 chairs at a table, or without having, and she can say 4 without having to touch and count each one. Activities to do at home. As she's cleaning up toys, ask her to count out. Start small, 4 or 5, and then build up as you're able to. And then when sitting at a table for a meal, ask her to count as she sets out silverware or glasses, and play games that require her to move a certain number of steps. So that's all I have for our conference today. Are there any other questions or concerns you may have regarding what we discussed or the plans that we have to keep her moving in upward development?
No, I don't think so. We're happy with where she is, both in the class and in her abilities. We just want to see her keep moving forward. We would like to see her challenged without pushing too hard and having her lose interest.
I think with what we have planned, it can be made to meet her where she is, and as she masters each part, make it a little bit more challenging to help her gain those skills without frustration. We have 1 more year with her before she goes to school, and I think with where we are now and where we're hoping to have her, she'll be well equipped to succeed.